Hello everyone. In the previous two videos for chapter number 7, we have been discussing about the animal tissue. Animal tissues are basically of four types, or animal tissues can be broadly classified into four different types. One is epithelial tissue, which I have discussed in the first two videos. The other tissues are over here connective tissue, muscular tissue, and neural tissue. So in this video I am going to discuss about the second one, that is the connective tissue. Now this connective tissue is the most abundant and it is widely distributed in our body. And here we are talking about animal tissue, means what? All animals including human being. Connective tissue is most abundant and also it is widely distributed in the body of a complex animal. In that we are also included. Now the name connective tissue has been given because they are responsible for connecting different parts of the body, different organs, and different organ systems are connected. That means over here the connective tissue, they play a special function or they play a special role in linking and also in giving support to the different tissues and organs. They provide what? They provide support, and plus they also link different parts of the body, what I said earlier. And over here, to be specific, different tissues and organs are linked or connected and they are also given support. So that means here the main function. What is the main function here? Main function over here are to attach, or otherwise you can say the attachment, storage of some substances, transport, and then formation of blood corpuscles. You understand RBC and WBC, red blood cells and white blood cells. They are also formed by these connective tissues. Now these range means the connective tissue, it ranges from a soft connective tissue to a specialized type. For example, when we talk about the blood, let us say, or the bone, cartilage, in different part these tissues are present and they perform a special kind of function. When we consider, let us say, over here a bone, it gives us the shape, and then it also supports the whole body. Based on that we are able to maintain, let us say, body size, like here in case of human being, height, and all these are possible. Mainly here height I am talking is because of the bone over here, which is a connective tissue, over here. So all these we are going to, or we have to discuss and understand in this topic. Once again, the connective tissue, they range from soft connective tissue to a specialized type, like for example what I said, bone, cartilage, blood, etc. Now all the connective tissue except the blood, all other connective tissue, they secrete some fiber as the structural protein, means they secrete a protein which is fibrous. For example, over here two main proteins over here is the collagen and elastin. And when we talk about collagen, this is the most abundant protein in animal world. Even in human body, this is the most abundant protein. It is present in between the muscles even, so that what happens, the muscles get strength. They are able to contract and relax, and thereby helping the movement of the bones. And when the movement of bones are possible, as a whole our body parts, we are able to move our position or change our position from one place to another. That means here I am talking about locomotion, movement and locomotion. Movement, we can sit or stand at a place and we can move our body parts. But when we talk about locomotion, means what? The change of position, change of place also is included over here. Now here, in case of the connective tissue, some fibers are there. What I mentioned here, the collagen and elastin. Now these fibers, here we are talking about fibrous protein. They provide the strength, elasticity and also flexibility to the organ or the tissue where they are located or where they are present. And these cells, the cells which secrete, means what? The cells which are included in this connective tissue, they secrete some polysaccharides which are modified, and these modified polysaccharides are present in between the cells and the fibers. Fibers and cells are there in between, the spaces are there. These spaces are occupied by this modified polysaccharide, and as a result of that they form or they act as a ground substance. Now let us see here types of connective tissue. Mainly three different types of connective tissues are there. The first one is loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue and specialized connective tissue. Three main types. So one by one I am going to discuss about each of these. Before we start, let us have a look on this flow chart as to how these three different types of connective tissues are further classified. These are further classified, that is, the loose connective tissue is classified further into three types: areolar tissue, adipose tissue and reticular tissue. Second one, dense connective tissues, they are classified into dense regular connective tissue and dense irregular connective tissue, where the dense regular connective tissue is further classified into two types: white fibrous and yellow elastic connective tissue. White fibrous connective tissue and yellow elastic connective tissue, where in case of the ligament and tendon, you must have learnt about this in lower classes, that what happens, tendon over here is responsible for connecting the bones to the muscles, and the ligaments are present mainly at the joint. It holds the two bones in position, so that what happens, the two bones are held together at the joint. Coming further to the third type, specialized connective tissue, this is further classified into three types: cartilage, bone and blood. Cartilage is further classified into three types, and bone, two types over here again, compact and spongy bone, and then at the end we will discuss about the blood. So that was a bifurcation or a small brief information about how different types of connective tissues are present, and it's further classified. Three main types are there which are further classified into different types. Now let us see the first one and try to understand here how is the loose connective tissue. Now in case of loose connective tissue, as the name suggests over here, loose connective tissue, it has cells and fibers. Means what? Loose connective tissue includes some cells and some fibers. These cells and fibers are arranged in such a way that the arrangement is not very compact. It is a loose arrangement. Means the cells and fibers over here are loosely arranged, and the ground substance that is present in between the cells and fibers is semi-fluid in nature. As a result of that, what happens here, the cells and fibers are arranged loosely. This is further classified into three types. The first one is areolar tissue, second one is adipose tissue, and the third one is reticular tissue. Once again, areolar, adipose and reticular tissue. Now first let us try to understand areolar connective tissue. Now in case of areolar connective tissue, actually here areolar connective tissue and adipose connective tissue, both of them are located or are present under the skin. They are present under the skin. In case of areolar connective tissue, now this serves as a support, or it gives support framework for the epithelium. The earlier topic or earlier epithelium we have discussed, that is a kind of tissue that we have discussed in the first two videos. Now in that case, what we had discussed, the basement layer or basement membrane. So something should be there below the epithelium. If you remember squamous epithelial tissue I had discussed, at that time we had discussed that they are almost like tiles, flat cells, which are also called as pavement epithelium, means over here under the tiles, let us say when we consider the tiles of our house, under the tile something should be there, some base should be there on top of which the tiles can be fixed. Very similar over here, areolar tissues are present just below the epithelium, so that epithelium is having a support on which the epithelial layer can be present and it can cover the inner part. The same thing here, areolar tissues, they serve as a support framework for the epithelium, and this contains three different types of cells. This includes, or otherwise areolar tissue is made up of, or it contains three different types of cells. The first one is fibroblast. Now fibroblast, what it does, it produces and secretes two main kind of protein fibers here. One of them is collagen and the other one is elastin. Collagen and elastin are produced, you can say, by fibroblast. The second cell that is over here is macrophages. Now they are actually a part of, you can say, immune system. They are able to move in the body and ingest some foreign particles. Let us say some microorganism has entered into the body. So when these microorganisms are encountered by these macrophages, they are engulfed. How you have studied about phagocytosis. So macrophages are responsible for protection. And the third one over here is the mast cells. Again, they are also, you can say, a part of immune system. They are having irregular shape. And they contain three different active substances, which are heparin, histamine and serotonin. Means what? At the time of allergy, where what happens, our immune system recognizes some external substances or some substances that has come from outside our body. So these substances are identified, and at that time what happens, this mast cell produces these substances, heparin, histamine and serotonin, and during that time what happens, some kind of immunological reaction takes place, or immunological response is shown by the immune system. So that was about the first loose connective tissue, areolar connective tissue. Second one is adipose connective tissue, or simply adipose tissue. These are, again, as I said earlier, are present under the skin, and this is second type of loose connective tissue. Now it is present in the subcutaneous tissue. It is present around the kidney, in the mesenteries, and also it is present in the bone marrow. Once again, where it is present? It is present below the skin or under the skin, mainly in the subcutaneous tissue, and then it is present around the kidneys, and also in the mesentery and bone marrow. Now coming to the type of work or type of function that they do. As the name suggests over here, adipose tissue. They are specialized or they carry out a specialized function to store fats. Their main function is to store fats. Have a look in this figure. Fat storage area. It has nucleus which are on the sides of the cell, but in the central part you can see large area is present where the fat can be stored. So as a result, what I said over here, that they are present, that is adipose tissue is present around the kidney, in the mesentery and also in the bone marrow. What happens there? That they are acting over here. Let us say here in case of kidney, the kidney is protected from any kind of shock. Whatever shock, let us say we fall sometime, we may get hurt superficially, but internal organs are protected because around the internal organs are present this fatty tissue, adipose tissue, which absorb the shock, and whatever the shock we receive in different part of the body, but this fat layer or the adipose tissue, it protects the organ from getting any kind of injury. The excess of nutrient, here I have discussed about as to they are responsible for storage of fat. So what happens here, when let us say more nutrient is taken by a person and that much nutrient is not required for the body, so what happens here, that the excess nutrient is converted, that is converted into fat, and then this fat is stored into this adipose tissue, and then it can be present under the skin, which also gives us protection from extreme heat and also extreme cold. During the summer it gives protection from extreme heat, during the winter it gives protection from the extreme cold. In that what happens, it functions as an insulation. You understand what is insulation? It protects us from extreme heat and cold because it acts as an insulation, where what happens, our body heat is not lost during winter, and during the summer season whatever atmospheric temperature or heat is present, that cannot enter into our deeper part. So as a result of that, our body temperature remains constant. Our body temperature remains constant means according to the change in seasons, the temperature of our body do not change. If you remember, cold blooded and warm blooded we have discussed in chapter on animal kingdom. Have a look on this figure. This is the type of cells what we have discussed is fibroblast, mast cell, macrophage. These three cells over here are shown in this figure, and the fibers that are present, collagen fibers in bundle, they are arranged parallel to each other. Coming to the third one, that is reticular tissue. Reticular tissue. Now here in this case what happens, let us take an example. In our nasal chamber, in the pharynx, esophagus, intestinal wall, the inner wall is covered by a mucous membrane, and just above the mucous membrane is present a very thin layer, thin you can say transparent layer, which is called as reticular tissue. Let us have a look here, that this reticular tissue consists of cells. What kind of cells? Star-shaped reticular cells, whose protoplasmic processes are there. They join together to form a network of cells, or they join to form a cellular network, and it is composed of the protein, means these cellular components are there or cellular network is there. It is formed by this protein which is called as reticulin. The protein is reticulin, and this is located in different part of the body like the spleen, liver, lymph nodes, thymus, tonsils, bone marrow, lamina propria of the gut wall. Lamina propria of gut wall. In the beginning, what I said, in the mucus, just it covers the mucous membrane. Here especially that the name has been given for that as what? Lamina propria. This is a very thin layer which covers the mucous membrane. What I said, in case of our nasal chamber, in the buccal cavity, then the different part of the alimentary canal, where what happens, the mucous membrane is covered by a thin membrane called as lamina propria. Now what does it do? What kind of function it performs? So it provides strength, and also it forms a supporting framework for many organs. Like here organs, some of the organs are mentioned: spleen, liver, lymph node, thymus, tonsil, bone marrow, etc. So what happens? These organs are provided with some strength and also a supporting framework so that it is covered and it is protected properly. So that was about the first tissue under connective tissue, that is loose connective tissue.